This is Marvel Age Star Wars. My name is Sean. I'm here with Brooks.
Hey everybody, how's it going? How you
Welcome
doing?
back.
How are you now? I'm gonna start watching Letterkenny again. The new season's out.
Is it? I'll have to
Yeah.
keep an eye out
How
for it.
are you
I
now?
haven't seen it on Hulu yet.
Not too bad. So
Yeah.
we're up to episode issue 32. I guess we could call it episode 32. It's not the 32nd episode though, because we've done other anyway. Issue 32.
Nice. Still somewhere at the siege of Yavin, I think.
Well, we
Still
will be
another,
there
like,
until
10
Empire,
issues or so
right?
before we get to Empire.
Yeah. I wonder if like
Still
literally
crawling.
the issue before Empire, if they're still like trying to evacuate Yavin. They've been doing this for years.
It's a big I think this storyline that we are in is the big push. I mean, it's been going on where they're trying to get out and Baron Tagge's people are closing in on him, all this stuff. I think is part of the big push. Like, I don't think they have any more like wheel spinning storylines, but it is sort of just a slow progression. It's been a while since I've read these issues, but you could tell they were like, how long do we have to tread water before that next movie? It's like, you got to pad it out for another, like, maybe 5 or 6 issues, like 10 issues later. They're like, when the hell is Empire Strikes Back coming out?
Look, man, it takes like 3 years to make a movie, or it used
We are
to.
drowning here.
Okay, issue 32.
Oh yeah, this is the Jawa Express or whatever.
Yeah. It's rolling, and not even the Empire can stop it. Join Luke, Han, and Chewie on the Jawa Express. So they're just going to get... Why are their Jawas running?
Yeah, why are the Jawas running from it? And what is everyone shooting at?
That is weird. They're shooting in all kinds of random directions. And Chewie looks weird.
The Jawas are running with us, and they're shooting
Look
too.
at this.
So
This is a cool new thing. And they're being chased by there. Maybe someone hijacked their sand crawler.
I don't know. It's a little hard to figure. I like, while we're spinning our wheels, we'll just have an issue where we're somehow tussling with Jawas on Tatooine.
Yeah, you can't complain about this in terms of the comic, but again, Tatooine, man, don't get me started. All those Disney Plus shows just love Tatooine.
We can't complain about the old comic doing it when we're like 50 years later. That's still what we do. When we're like, I'm not sure what to do. How about we go to Tatooine and run into some sand people?
Like, why can't we go to Hoth or Cloud City ever again?
Or
Endor
else
ever again? We've never seen any of those ever again, but we see this stuff anyways.
It is funny that Tatooine, I guess, in case for Boba, it makes sense because he died there and he at least would have had to come out there, and they want to play into the Jabba's palace, playset and mythology.
Yeah.
But it is funny how, of all the locales, that's the one we keep finding reasons to go back to. It's the, for whatever reason, the central planet of the entire Star Wars
and
universe.
Even in the sequels, we have desert planets. They're not Tatooine, but they're still a desert planet. They might as well be Tatooine.
Well, that's J.J. Abrams. It is Tatooine, but we call it something else.
The Jawa Express. Dawn on the Dune Sea. A lot has happened to Luke Skywalker since he returned to his homeworld of Tatooine. This particular moment is one of the worst. Oh, that's right. They ran away. He went to Mos Eisley looking for some pilot or smuggler or something. I forget, for the rebellion. And they ran into Han in there, of course, naturally, because Han still hangs out there all the time. And
is this
they were
like
getting chased by the Empire.
Kind of thing? Was that something? Was that what the
Empire
was
the Empire was messing around with the
freeze ray?
Yeah, the tag technology or something.
Like a bunch of marshmallows or something, according to this image. Not sure.
Yeah. So they were running away from stormtroopers, right? And they got in, and you know why they crashed? Because I think they had 3PO driving, right?
Yeah.
Was that right?
And it knocked the milk out of my land speeder.
So I'll do Han because you're really good at doing Luke. Kid, what we got here is a sick land speeder. And this is no place to be without transportation once those twin suns really start cooking. Like, I know, Han, I'm from here.
I know. You don't have to tell an ex-moisture farmer what the midday heat can do, Han. But with a little more work, I think we can bypass these fused parts.
It's coolant we need, Luke, to replace what's leaked away. Without it, any repairs will just melt like the original parts.
Yeah. I thought we escaped those stormtroopers in Mos Eisley free and clear, but one of their parting shots fixed us good.
As Luke and Han Solo grimly discuss their situation, Chewbacca suddenly comes alert, nose twitching.
Norf. Norf.
He rises and moves swiftly to a nearby ridge. What he sees in the distance, though, through shimmering heat, is nothing to gladden a Wookiee's heart.
Sweet dewback.
Stormtroopers. You notice they don't use land speeders because they know this is going to happen. They're thinking ahead.
For real. They're like, have you ever thought about going lizard?
Lizards don't fuse melted parts. And the news doesn't do very much for Luke and Han's morale either. It's a big patrol. I guess we should be flattered, kid.
I'm sorry, Han. I seem to have a knack for getting you two into messes like this. And
perhaps there is an alternative to fighting, Luke. Droids also use coolant. If the two of us shut down and you drain us, why...
bleep, bleep.
Pipe down, R2. You'll get credit for the idea at the proper time. Soon. Is this Han talking? I guess so.
I think so.
Thanks to 3PO and R2-D2, we're mobile, kid. But I don't know for how long. Best we can hope for is to get a little distance between us and those troopers before the thing dies of strain.
That's a nice flow back hair.
Well,
we can do better than that. The droids and I didn't walk here from Yavin, Han. We've got a ship hidden further out in the dunes. Even my repairs should hold up till we get there.
They do. But at the destination, more bad news. Is this going to be the Jawas tearing their ship apart?
That would be good. Hopefully just not more stormtroopers.
Yep. Man, they stripped it too. Look how quickly they stripped it.
Mando took this scene completely in season 1.
They actually have like
that ship down.
Like front loaders or forklifts or something down there.
They were like, this is our busiest day. Ooh, TD.
It figures, Luke. Scanner-proof camouflage might fool the Imperials, but those greedy little beggars can sniff out abandoned machinery anywhere.
Yeah, they also have a very loose idea of the term abandoned.
Yeah, it's like, well, knock, knock. No one's home. Let's get it.
Yeah, exactly.
They're at work. Take the house.
Well, they're not going to scavenge my ship. I've got a mission to finish. Hey, knock it off right now. Boodity.
Yeah, like which among us can speak
Jawa?
I thought the mechanic in the Book of Boba Fett did a decent job of speaking Jawa.
Yeah, she's pretty funny.
Easy, kid. We've already got enemies. Right now, we could use some friends. Your ship's too far gone to help us now.
But Han...
Face it, Luke. Finders keepers is all these guys know. With the land speeder wheezing its last, it's time to be charming. Smile. We need a lift in the sandcrawler. And that involves challenging the Jawas at what they do best, haggling.
They're not going for just the speeder, Han. They want the droids, too.
Promise them anything, kid, long as they agree to get us back to Mos Eisley.
3PO and R2 aren't just robots to me. They're friends. I'd feel like a slaver.
Chewie and I stashed part of our bonus from Jabba the Hutt aboard the Millennium Falcon. We can use it to buy back the droids. Make a deal fast and get us out of here. I like how Han's being, legit business. Like, we'll buy them back. So just take them. They're Jawas. What are you going to do?
Yeah, once we get what we want, we'll just kill all the Jawas.
Yeah, I mean, stormtroopers did it. But there can be danger in fast deals. Moving at last, kid. Not exactly warp speed, but moving. By the time we hit Mos Eisley, the heat should be off in.
One problem, Han. This isn't the way to Mos Eisley.
Oh, what? Hey, what is this? Guys, we have a bargain. Ow.
Han, if I understand right, they're keeping the bargain, but they're going to finish their scavenger run first.
Nice. How many days out of our way is that?
Not days, Han. Months. 3 of them.
They're going to live on there for 3 months? Yikes. 3 months?
Sitcom setup.
We'll die of concussions banging around in these Jawa-sized compartments.
You
Kid,
will.
you gotta... Fatal.
Halt that
Uh-oh.
vehicle. My men on the ridge will stop it with proton grenades if you fail to obey. Suspected rebels are in the area. We're coming aboard. Yeah, that's weird. We're coming aboard to search.
Bum, bum, bum. Man,
Look
these
at that
guys.
dewback. He looks weird.
Yeah, he's kind of bumpy. I liked the dewback in the previous issue on the cover when he was looking at them all like they're under the...
Just askance.
That was a better dewback.
Very emotive. Doo-dee-dee. Han, I believe they feel we weren't totally honest with them, and
unless we do something fast, our bargain is off. Tell him to relax, kid. Good news, Chewie. I think there's a way we can finally stand up in this rolling torture chamber. Moments later, 2 hatches on the sandcrawler roof are eased open, and yeah, if we miss even one trooper on the ridge, he can blow us away. That's why you gotta follow my lead. Don't shoot at the troopers. Blast the ridge out from under them.
Fadam!
He really thinks it's a better idea to shoot the mountain that they're standing on?
Damn. Like,
yeah.
Without ground, they can't stand. Attack the ground. Like, all right.
Instant avalanche. Man, they have some powerful blasters if they're like creating an avalanche.
Yeah, but damn.
That sweeps the stormtroopers above into their companions below. Ba-wom! I like these huge word bubbles. What are these sound bubbles? What do you call these things? These sound
captions.
Captions, maybe that's it. Carrying their armed proton grenades with them. Better have our little pals back up, Luke. This isn't much of a thoroughfare anymore.
Okay. Why don't we always do that? Just make a crater wherever everyone's standing. They're doing it, Han, but I get the feeling they're not too happy about it. Apparently, they hope to avoid the Junlin wastes. Now they can't.
What's the problem? Are they afraid of sand people?
No, something else. But I think I can guess what, Han. The House of Tagge is up to something out here, and they're doing it for the Empire. 3PO, R2, and I saw enough to be certain of that yesterday while we were making our way into Mos Eisley. My mission for the Alliance is to recruit pilots to become blockade runners for us, so I couldn't take time to investigate, but...
Hey, we're stopping again. That seems to be what this thing does best.
A little lizard like, whoa!
What's going on, Luke? Ow! Everyone's abandoning ship. Or what it... Ow!
Machinery, Han. Looks like a giant evaporator.
No wonder our... No wonder our short friends are excited, kid. There's another sandcrawler. They've got competition for the loot.
Wait, Han. Whatever this is, it is an evaporator. I've seen too many to think that, and...
A chilling tingle goes through Luke.
Han, Chewbacca. We've got to get the Jawas and ourselves away from this thing, fast!
Hustle it, half-bites. The kid's not given to practical jokes. He's just straight up picking them up. Then, with the suddenness of lightning striking, something sweeps the desert plain before the tower. Something impossible.
I love that illustration.
Yeah, it's kind of neat. On the opposite side, below the rise, Luke, the wind, the sand.
I know, Han. They feel cold.
Moments pass. Nothing happens. Cautiously, the group moves forward. You said it, big buddy. Between here and that distant tower, the whole plane's frozen.
Not just the plane. Look!
Oh no. The other sandcrawler. Okay, go ahead.
I'm not sure. The other sandcrawler. It's collapsing. The cold is so great, even the metal is shattering. Yikes.
Shrek. That could have been us, kid, if you hadn't yelled. Was that the Force in action?
Not this time, Han. I felt the tower starting to get cold. It reminded me of yesterday and a frozen bantha the droids and I discovered. I think we found Judy.
Don't bother translating, Luke. The tone sounds like, everybody down. And for good reason. There are new arrivals on the scene.
Okay, is this Baron Tagge then? Excellent, Silas. Excellent. Under the merciless twin suns of this hellhole planet, you've achieved this.
If you'll examine the bodies of the little creatures who were in the machine, you'll find they were frozen as well, Ormond.
It's a weird thing to be excited about. And I killed all the people. Like, well, I assumed that, but it's a weird cherry to put on top, though.
Oh, Jawa Pops for breakfast. I like their little coats. His little.
I like his little pointy hat. He looks like was it Captain Cold from?
Oh yeah,
DC
like
comic?
Mr. Freeze or something.
Maybe, but I think Captain Cold was the Flash villain who had. Well, actually, this is Carmine Infantino. He drew that too. So that's
you know what? I think you're right. I actually have a Silver Age issue of Flash that has this guy on the cover.
Yeah,
I'll show a picture of it.
Pointy hats.
I believe it's safe to say that nothing caught between the conductor towers can survive. Not when we generate the Omega Frost, my dear brother.
I like that. The Omega Frost. You'll be able to duplicate this success anywhere, in any environment?
Perhaps not in the heart of a nova, but if it works under these arid conditions, I'm confident I can adjust for whatever you require.
The Omega Frost. Brilliant, Silas. It's going to be the club with which we beat Darth Vader from the Emperor. That's so what a weird. The club with which we beat Darth Vader from the Emperor's favor.
Baron Tagge, what about the rebels, sir? They're still observing us. Oh, they know they're there?
Good. They haven't guessed that the conductor tower has a sensor system that detected them and alerted us. If units 2 and 3 are in position, let's begin herding them where we want them.
And with Tagge aboard, the Imperial troop carrier swiftly moves, opening fire with its laser cannon. Not too close to their position. Oh, this is Tagge.
Oh, one of them is Luke Skywalker. I want him alive to deal with personally.
So not only do they know they're there, they know it's Luke. That's some good sensors.
Yeah, sorry, sir. We blew up the whole top of the mountain, so I think he's probably dead.
Thus, moments later, when the Imperial troop carrier tops the rise, a rude surprise is waiting. Baron, they didn't flee. The madmen are charging us.
We're too close to blast them, fool. Turn before we crash. Head on. Turn.
But even that alternative leaves much to be desired. And
we going tump. You going to tump it.
That's going to be a Wilhelm scream.
Tag base, this is the Baron. My brother and I need assistance. Units 2 and 3 abandon ambush positions and give chase to the fugitive sandcrawler.
Tell our host, great work, Luke. The Jawa Express is on the move. Next stop, Mos Eisley.
We're picking up Tagge's transmission band, Han. We may hit a couple of obstacles. Like the sun. No, they're way further away than they look, kid.
Yeah. You called it, kid. The landscape is suddenly furnished with hot and cold running troop carriers. Furnished with hot and cold running. Okay. Hot to catch us and cold certain. Okay, I get it now. The landscape is suddenly furnished with hot and cold troop carriers. Hot to catch us and cold certain to do it at the speed they can travel.
Bleep, blap, boop, bloop, bloop. The Jawas speak R2 binary now. Han, he says that along with their other pickings, they have some loose drums of Skyhopper propellant. Got any ideas?
I guess we do. That's it, Chewie. Heave them out. Not too close together. We want them spread across the plane. Luke's on the roof to take care of the rest.
blast the way this lumbering monstrosity rattles and shakes. Still, this shouldn't be any tougher than potting womp rats from a land speeder with Uncle Owen's outmoded old energy rifle. Come to think of it, that was pretty tough. Doom, doom, doom.
So he's like making little landmines here, explosives.
Yeah, I guess so.
But despite concern, Luke's shots are true. Propellant drums explode in a fiery spray, producing a chain reaction that touches all the drums spread across the plain until a massive wall of flame rises before the pursuing carriers of the Empire's troops. The warriors are left with but one choice: halt or be destroyed. Another one.
Technically, that's two choices, although
Yeah, I guess that's true.
one of those guys gets blown straight to pieces. Oh my god.
I like these colors, this
Ooh.
purple and red. Probably doesn't look that crazy in the originals. But that saved us, Luke, for the moment. But they're bound to have signaled ahead to Mos Eisley, and we can't exactly sneak in there with a sand crawler.
But Han, it's more important than ever that we reach the Millennium Falcon and get off Tatooine. The Alliance has to know what the House of Tagge has created here.
May we make a suggestion, sir?
3PO, R2, but you were shut down.
The Jawas revived us. They seem to have a little of everything, including coolant. Not as clean as one might prefer, but usable. It was rather traumatic to awake and suddenly behold the horrid little, our new allies. But once the situation was made clear, I reasoned that if their coolant works in us, it will revive our ailing land speeder too.
Freaky!
Oh, very well, R2. You reasoned it. The main thing is we can reach Mos Eisley. And since the Imperials are after a sandcrawler, this should do the trick, kid.
Right, Han. And our friends the Jawas can lose themselves in the Dune Sea. Tag's scheme may not be finished, but neither are we. Plucky.
In the depths of space, Luke Skywalker versus Baron Tagge. Awesome.
Saber clash. Yeah, that's pretty awesome, actually.
They're gonna have a lightsaber fight.
I love because they did in Baron Tagge find a cool like intermediary bad guy for Luke to fight. Like while he's still learning who's someone that he could lightsaber fight a little bit. It's like this guy, he's knows how to use a lightsaber but doesn't have the force, and he's blind. So that'll be good practice for Luke.
He's not blind. Never used a lightsaber. Just
well, he's got robo eyes. He's mod. He's a mod.
Yeah. So there you have it, guys. What was that? Issue 32? Pretty cool.
Yeah, very nice.
Not a lot happened except for the, I guess, revealing of a freeze ray. I'm not sure what tactical advantage they have of just placing towers somewhere and then freezing it.
Well, yeah, because you would think in the vacuum of space, any spaceship already has protection against freezing. So it only works if you're on a planet and you set up a network of pre-existing conductor towers.
That's what I mean. It's not like in a battle or something you can go around planting towers around the enemy, but
yeah,
it's cool. I don't mean to nitpick.
Well, the Tags don't have it together as much as they'd like to think. I do like that about them. It's like, this is the club we'll use to beat Darth Vader away from the Emperor.
It's weird to think that, like, if they had a board meeting, like, let's go over the project. So how are we in budget? Okay. What are we doing on research? Okay. So here's the Baron. He's going to talk to us about our focus. It's like, all right, everything we're doing is to embarrass Darth Vader. It's like, well, we were hoping we would expand into a new market. No. Darth Vader. That's what we're for.
Aren't we a corporation? Like, don't we have like profit-driven motives for anything?
So, our motives are only and exclusively to embarrass Darth Vader.
And then, so I guess when we have the Emperor's favor, there's like a profit motive being served there.
I mean, probably. As long as Vader's embarrassed.
It's just that weird creek when we get to it.
They're probably not like an actual like public corporation that has to answer to stockholders or something. They're privately owned. They can do what they want, I guess.
I guess when you do have like This is the problem with just family owned and run businesses. It's like I've noticed that all of our corporate officers are part of the Tag family, which is just a weird motley crew of increasingly odd weirdos with bizarre fetishes for things. Like, I'm a mad scientist. It's like, well, you do you. I'll find a way to make that work against Vader.
They don't have the fiduciary requirements that a publicly owned company would in the
Yeah, there's
the
no,
old Republic.
they don't have a board that they have to answer to.
So that was it. What do you think?
Pretty fun.
It's
Always
okay.
good stuff.
Feels like a
I
filler.
enjoy.
Feels like a filler
They
issue.
they're all filler, especially like
Well, I
since
mean,
we've been doing this like on and off. So especially now, it feels even longer the length of time it's taking to get from Star Wars to Empire.
I thought like the wheel stuff didn't feel like filler. That was fun.
No, I think these are good. I just think this whole final push in which is sort of its own storyline takes a while because you would think it's kind of like in Force Awakens where they fight the First Order, and then the very next day, it seems like Last Jedi starts like the First Order has found us and they are here, and that's sort of what you would have imagined would have happened at the end of Star Wars. So when they start, it's like several years later, and we're on a completely different base. But they're not saying we just now found a better place to move. Like we assume they've been on off a while. They've got an infrastructure in place and everything. They're already having to run away from another base when Empire starts. So it's funny to think like 3 years after the Battle of Yavin, they're just scouting sites. It's like it's a big deal having to move. We got a lot of sensitive equipment.
All right, guys. Feel free to email us. Or no, well, you can email us, I guess. Didn't we make an email for this?
We did make an email.
I don't even
No one's
remember what
ever
it
emailed
was.
us though.
Yeah.
I can't
What I
remember
meant
the
to say
email.
was feel free to comment and
Comment on the videos, like the videos, subscribe to this channel.
mhm. Why not?
That's good stuff.
I subscribe to stuff all the time, and
It's easy. You click a button and then that's it.
we hardly ever pester you because we only make a video once a month.
Yeah. Or
It's not
if
like
that. So there's not a lot of commitment
But
to
thanks for watching,
subscribing.
everyone. And
That was
I'm
fun.
actually more looking forward to the next issue because that sounds like some fun action.
Yeah. I like to see Luke level up. So we do get to see a little bit of that.
All right.
Ooh, I have
Well,
some show and tell stuff.
oh, cool.
Not real show and tell stuff, but I did want to show I got some books.
Oh yeah, these
Some
are
of my
your
new books
books.
are out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, they look so cool. I'm really impressed with your the cover art you've been making for these. Like, look like the '70s pulp novels, or
Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with the distressing and all that kind of stuff.
yeah, that it really works. It looks cool.
So these are short stories. These two little ones are short stories, and this one's a separate novella. But most of them are horror. That one has a Bigfoot style yarn in it.
I mean, so those are collections of short stories.
Yeah, well, Skookum Ridge is a longer story, but there's a backup story in it, which is a Goat Man kind of story. So if you're into cryptids, that's a sort of cryptid themed one. And then this one has just about 3 or 4 different shorter stories. The Wicked
Man, that is
Screaming
so
Woods.
cool looking. That just looks cool on your shelf, I bet.
I enjoy them. See little spines with
Oh yeah, dude.
where they have the cracks down the spines. That's the benefit of having so many books in very poor condition in my own library. I can get some nice scans of some legit distressing.
Yeah, but I mean
And that
that's
one's
part of
got
the
that nice
fun.
matte cover.
People don't get this because everyone's like most collectors of most collections, like comics and stuff, they even books, they want the mint, the nicest primus, primus, you know what I'm saying. But
Yeah,
there
it's not
are
as fun.
like guys that are into guitars and stuff are really like into distressed old antique guitars that look beat to hell. It's like that adds to the coolness of it.
And I could go either way. When you buy a book and you can find it in really nice condition, that's fun too. But I'll look for books in beat up condition because as long as it's not falling apart, I
Yeah.
like to read it.
And
I
I
don't
don't
want
know
it in such a nice condition. I
that you're
should show you.
afraid to touch it. Yeah.
I do actually have some. I could do a show and tell of some of my Friday the 13th paperbacks that I've gotten because those are ridiculously expensive to buy.
For such fine literature.
I'm telling you, if you're in a thrift store and you see any books like that are just novelizations of old horror movies and stuff or anything related, just buy that stuff for some reason because nobody did it originally.
Yeah,
Like,
they're
so
I'm
I
sure
guess
they're hard to find. They're probably
there's
really
some
rare. And for the fans of that stuff, it's hard to get.
there's several like
Are they good
series
though?
of not really. But I mean I read the novelization of Friday the 13th Part 6 because I got that for Christmas and it's fun because it has like references to Jason's dad and stuff because it comes from the
I
original
mean, I guess if they're from a movie
screenplay.
novelization, they can't be that bad because they're the story of the movie. But are they original? Are any of them original
Some of these,
stories?
yeah, I'm reading one right now that was like a YA novel based on Friday the 13th.
How
But
weird.
what's weird about it is they didn't get that idea till later. So this one is I think it's called Tales from Camp Crystal Lake is the series, and they did about 4 of them that were all written in like a 6-month period. And so and then they didn't sell, so now they're pretty expensive if you find them online.
I
I'm
mean, are
reading
these recent or back in the 80s?
well,
Because
these would have been in the 90s because this
oh,
run that's the one thing I wish during the 80s they had the idea to do that because when the 90s came in, these follow, the Jason Goes to Hell, so they seem to be fall within that pocket of canon where instead of it just being people go to Crystal Lake and Jason's there, there has to be like this weird artifact of like I think what I'm getting from in the first book, I'm only about 50 pages into it so far, but I guess a guy finds Jason's mother's head and it starts controlling him. And
yikes.
so I think
Is their head still in around? It's not just like a skull now.
he just finds it buried in a shoebox somewhere. Like and then it directs him to dig up, I guess, the place where Jason was pulled down into hell, and he retrieves Jason's mask, which seems to be in these books to have like a kind of cursed artifact. So now he's going around just randomly killing
Yeah,
people in
I can see
Crystal
that.
Lake. I'm like, I'm with
Like
this. I
whoever
could read some
wears
more
the
of this.
mask becomes Jason.
Yeah, so and it's kind of fun. This so far it's more fun than Jason Goes to Hell, which was garbage. So
I haven't actually seen that one.
well, I would say you should watch that stuff just because it's original Friday the 13th, but that one is pretty bad if you were to miss out on that one.
Do they actually show him in hell?
No.
Oh,
It's
well, see,
weird
that's
though
what they
cuz
should do.
the guy digs deep and he starts hearing screams and stuff coming from the earth, so you get the sense that they're saying that he dug down close to hell. I'm like, "Ooh, the geography of this story is weird." So and somehow like this would literally happen. The end of because in you haven't seen Jason Goes to Hell, but the last scene of Jason Goes to Hell when they finally defeat the Jason entity that's in that movie, he does have the mask, and then Freddy's glove comes out of the ground and pulls the mask down into hell. And I guess in this, that literally happened because they're like, okay, so now I have to dig down because somewhere halfway between here and hell, he dropped his mask. So we're going to dig till we get hold of the mask. And then that will, I guess, bring Jason's ghost into this hunter. I
I
haven't got
wonder
into
if
the
like
rest of it, but I'm having fun with it. There's 2 other book series that were spin-offs from Friday the 13th that seem to have both come out right after Jason X based on the cover pictures. One is just straight up Jason stories, but I can't get hold of any of those yet because they're super expensive. But it is like people go to Crystal Lake and tangle with Jason, and some of the plot synopses sound insane. So I'm like, oh, I got to read this. There's like a cult of Jason and stuff in one of them, and then another one is based following Jason X, which is about Jason X, the cyborg Jason, and it's just sci-fi stories that feature the cyborg Jason. It's like I got to get hold of some of these.
I
This sounds
liked that
nuts.
movie.
I loved that one.
I may be the only one, or you and me may be the only one. I thought it was fun.
Jason X has its place, you know. Uh, J- Friday 13th is one of those stories that could do whatever because they would just make another one. That's what's the problem now, where they're like, we got to be really careful what we put out. It's like, no, you don't. Make one every 2 years. Then it doesn't matter what you make. Like, you can squeeze one out and you're like, oh, that wasn't any good at all, and just make another one.
Make one every year. That's what they used
They're
to
like,
do.
well, we want these movies to be made for 30 million and make 100 million. It's like, well, that's your problem. Make it for 1 million and it makes 10 million. That's your cash cow.
All right, man. I think we found what we need to be doing. Making cheap, crappy franchise horror movies, one a year.
Well, I mean, if I could, if anyone's interested, I am making
Make films of those.
cheap, crappy horror is available to you
Yeah.
from my library.
Way to bring it back around. So that's on Amazon, right?
Yeah, those are on Amazon.
We'll put a link.
I mean, I always do paperbacks because I love doing paperbacks, but those are all available on Kindle. And if you do Kindle Unlimited, you can read them for free.
So let's put those on. Put a link for me on the.
Yeah,
because Sean does the links. Put the links on the description, and you guys go check it out. It'll be fun. A nice way to support Mr. Gilbert's.
If you like them, yeah. Skookum Ridge has a 1.5 star rating on Amazon.
Nice. He bumped up that half star.
We bumped up the 1 star. We had 2 1-star ratings, and then someone came in the 11th hour and gave me 1 2-star rating. So
nice.
We're on the. That's what I call on the rise.
So I challenge you guys watching. Buy the book. Give it another star. Let's see if we can get it up to 3 stars.
Well, be honest. I wish those guys would post reviews. It's like, what? You felt strongly enough to say 1 star. What didn't you like? Just generally. Generally didn't like any of it.
The whole thing?
Yeah. I don't like Bigfoot. Okay.
All right, kids. We'll see you soon. Check out his books. Thanks, and thanks for watching. And we'll talk to you soon. My name's Brooks.
I'm Sean.
Bye-bye.
Like and subscribe.
Snoop.